True greetings, everyone. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror search for Huru. Hold on, let me make sure this mic is right. Hold on one second. Yeah, we're good to go. We're good to go. We are cooking with gas. We're cooking with gas, everyone. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, family. Again, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Also, make sure you go to dynastymir.com. Dynastymir.com. The you guys. Also, what else do we got here? What else we doing? Tour, Sierra Leone. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. The giveaway, the 100,000 subscriber giveaway. We're doing it in Sierra Leone, and the only way you could qualify because there's just too many of y'all is you got to be on the tour. So you come on the tour, you are entered into the drawing. Okay, so we're gonna do the giveaway in Sierra Leone for the bag, snakeskin for the bag. We're gonna do it in Sierra Leone, y'all. So, but you got to come on the tour, family. So if you're on the tour, we're gonna do the drawing on the tour, the giveaway on the tour. This and the crypto is gonna take place on the tour in Sierra Leone, everybody. So that's what I decided. I was talking to somebody on a tour today, and she was like, "Yeah, Dennis, congratulations." Who's coming on the tour? I was talking to her today, and she was like, "Yeah, Dennis, congratulations on 100,000 subscribers." And I said, "You know what? You're coming on the tour, right?" So I said, "You know what? What I'll do to make this streamline this and make it easier, we'll do the giveaway for those who are participating in the tour. In fact, when we get started, I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the chat room. So that's what we got going on, you guys. Tour Sierra Leone. If you have your African ancestry DNA results and it links back to a tribe of Sierra Leone, you're eligible to hit me up. Come roll with us. Also, I'm gonna give 5% off on the tour for those who pay in Bitcoin. Okay, I don't want this fiat anymore. I want crypto. So pay in Bitcoin, you get 5% off, family. What else do we got going here? That's about it, everybody. That's about it. But without further ado, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, everyone. We got brother Brandon, Pan Africanism strikes back. Today's topic: what does ADOS have to look forward to in America? What
Uh,
does ADOS have to look forward to in America? Guys, before we get started, go subscribe to Brother Brandon's page. Make sure you guys go subscribe to his page. Pan
yeah,
Africanism strikes back. Go subscribe. I got to send some messages out to let people know what's going on. But Brandon, brother, you know the floor is yours. The floor is yours.
right. Follow Dynasty instructions. Go subscribe to my channel. Pan Africanism Strikes Back. Just like my name is spelled on this little tag right here, profile tag. Um, my channel is going up every day. You know, Pan Africanism is doing some straight war on that channel because we got all the goofies coming every day trying to take shots at the at the title. You feel me? And we get it in over there. Y'all better help me get over there and get and experience some of that greatness before I get bougie on y'all. Once I get to 50,000 subscribers, I'm gonna tighten my channel up. We ain't gonna talk about nothing but Jesus. Keep the money flowing. No, but
Oh, are you? You gonna turn into a pastor? You gonna be Pastor Brandon,
I'm gonna have the Bible
Reverend
out
Brandon,
and everything. I'll
Reverend
be
Brandon?
standing, I'll be standing up there. I'm not gonna have a necktie. I'm gonna have a gold chain with a cross on it. Old school, but my
Do it.
top button's still gonna be buttoned up. But yeah, so pretty much, I mean, golly, what like I don't even understand how. You can hear me okay, right?
I hear you just fine, brother. Go ahead.
Okay. I don't even understand how this can still even be a topic. Pan Africanism is the best way. You might not like the title, so you change it. Change to whatever you want. Global Black Empowerment, whatever you need it to be. But one thing is certain. Black America is headed downhill. And when I talk about Black America, that is not exclusively FBA or ADOS. This is even Black immigrants coming to America. It's headed downhill. Everywhere you look, someone's getting killed. Like, you have so many threats in America, it's not even funny. Because if the police don't get you, your own people will. You got dudes doing mutual combat, shooting each other in cars. The police are like, well, they were mutual combatants, so we're not prosecuting anybody. You got people out here organ harvesting. You got, shoot, the healthcare industry trying to, you know, take advantage. You got all types of threats in America. I'm not telling everybody, hey, you got to move to Africa. But what I'm saying is, if you're going to remain in America, you at least need to know what you're looking at. And the situation and the symptoms of the situation or the characteristics of the situation are so acute. You don't need me to sit up here and tell you all the threats that you're facing. But here's the thing that makes all the threats even worse, because everybody's pretty much beyond, across all racial guidelines, everyone's pretty much facing the same threats. But why are the threats even more dangerous or even more threatening when it comes to our people? Well, one thing is we don't have infrastructure, right? We don't have infrastructure. Other groups have infrastructure that insulates them from a lot of the things that really endanger Black Americans. Chinese people don't got to worry about going to search for a job. They go in their community and find a job or open up a Chinese food store and you go eat all the orange chicken and chow mein that your cholesterol uh, infused heart can desire, and they make a whole bag and take it back to their community. ADOS had a conference this past weekend. Yvette, Antonio didn't show up. Crickets, dude. It was about 14 people in the whole church, and everybody was over the age of 69. Everybody in that joint was collecting Social Security.
Let me
And
let me ask you this, Brandon. Do you think they've lost momentum? Because back in like 2019, 2018, there was some momentum there. Do you think they lost momentum? Like the excitement is gone, or?
it's not even that the excitement is gone. Their movement was co-opted by another Black person named Tariq Nasheed. He split their ranks. He took more than half of their ranks. And what he did was he gutted the group of all of its youth. All the people who were going to get up and go do the footwork, they got gutted because one thing you got to understand is one group said FBA, and one group called ADOS, and they're like professors and scholarly types of people, right? Lawyers and professionals. Tariq came. He's no professional at anything. He's just an entertainer. Black people love entertainment, especially the youth. So the youth, they pledged allegiance to the entertainer. He was more entertaining. He was more, attractive. He was the more sexier look. So they went with that. It had nothing to do with objectives, goals, or reaching them. So they just doubled down on the entertainment value. So what happened
Mhm.
was those people left ADOS and joined the FBA camp. Tariq took them on a ride, then switched the whole objective. Now ADOS is left with nothing but elderly senior citizens, right? Who really,
Right, right.
even if they're motivated, they don't have the energy and that fire of youth to, get up and say, hey, we're gonna go do this, that, and the other and get things done, right? So their group was gutted. And uh whatever fortification that ADOS could have had, say from like Black immigrant support or independent support or people who were in the middle moderates, was lost because they allowed xenophobia to take root within their organization, and that turned a lot of people off and made them very undesirable to larger Black groups that could have helped to perpetuate their cause or facilitate some of these projects that they wanted to work on. So ADOS, strategically in military talk, ADOS committed what was called a blunder. They allowed entertainers to take control. They allowed entertainers to gain influence in their within their organization. Then they didn't properly vet people who were in their organization. So when the entertainers broke left, a lot of their group broke left. There's a scripture in the Bible where it talks about a lot of Jesus's disciples, because people think Jesus only had 12 disciples. Really, he had hundreds of disciples, right? And it talks about a, a lot of his disciples. They stopped following him. He says some things that they didn't understand, and they're like, "What you mean, eat your blood and eat your flesh and drink your blood?" So they left and they went away. Well, that's what happened with ADOS. As the message became less less clear, the message switched from uh, the message switched from reparations to one of xenophobia and victimhood. People, it distorted the message. So when Tariq came in, it was like, I'm gonna teach y'all how to get reparations. It was easy for him to walk away. Uh, it was easy for them to walk away and go and divest from ADOS and join another camp. So they got gutted. But what this points to, what you can listen to, what you have to look forward to in America, right? You look in America, basically the only groups that are really motivated or like seemingly motivated are groups that are led by people who are entertainers, people who are
Mm-hmm.
in service of white supremacy, like Yvette and Tone, or Tariq Nasheed, also working in service of white supremacy. I mean, as a Black American, I look around and I don't really see anything moving forward in a direction that benefits us. We voted for the Democratic Party. Joe Biden absolutely crapped all over us. And do you realize that Joe Biden has only been president for not even a year yet? He hasn't even been president for a year yet. And look
Right.
how much damage he's done to our community. And you still got Black folks defending him. You remember Dynasty, we was coons and everything else for
Yeah.
telling them don't vote for Joe. Well, if the majority of your people, right, are in this abusive relationship and they don't want to leave, because he's a good man and he's going to change, right? What
Right.
do? You only have one option, and that's kind of to divest and wait till the situation, you know, go trends upward. You know what I mean? Till it trends upward.
Right.
Right now, Black people, we ain't got a pot to piss in, so to speak.
Right, guys, hit that like button again. Please hit that like button. And also, once again, come with me to Sierra Leone for the Sierra Leone Citizenship Tour and the giveaway. So hit 100K. So there will be a giveaway to a lucky subscriber. So the lucky subscribers are in Sierra Leone who are coming on Sierra Leone to narrow this down for the raffle. So if you want to be eligible, you got to be in Sierra Leone. So tour November 19th through the November 19th through November 30th. If you're eligible for citizenship, be prepared to stay to December 4th. Because they said the actual ceremony is going to be between any day between like the 21st or the 22nd and December 4th. But this is up for grabs when we get to Sierra Leone. A lucky individual on the tour. Because I'm assuming that if you're coming on the tour, you subscribe, is eligible for this bag right here and some crypto. All right, go ahead, Brandon.
Dynasty, there's a saying. Have you ever heard the saying, you can fool all of the people some of the time and some of the people all of the time, but you cannot fool all of the people all of the time?
Right.
Okay, that's what we're dealing with. We got a situation where these people are able to fool a large amount of our people. The people who aren't fools for the Democratic Party, which represents 92% of us, right? That's how the number we voted for Democrats. Well, they're not fooled by Democrats, but then they get fooled by ADOS. Then the ones who aren't fooled by ADOS are then fooled by FBA. The other small percentage remaining is fooled by, drugs, alcohol, abuse, all that type of stuff, right?
Right.
Black America is fighting a war on too many fronts. We are stretched thin. We are stretched thin because we have, like, it's like you might be able to survive if one or two, predators attack you. But we have an unlimited amount of predators constantly attacking us. I mean, we're at the point where we not only got predators attacking us, in the real world, reality, right? Police, the United States government, ADOS, Tariq, these people preying on us. Now, even in the virtual world, the internet, you got people running scams, preying on us. Like, what do we do? What can we do to stop that? Everyone's hollering, get on code. Don't nobody know what the code is. Everybody's talking about it, and if you do try to point things out, you're looked at as a hater or a coon or someone who's running away from Black America. This is all you have to look at. This is all you have to look forward to. Literally, it's like you're fighting with your hands tied behind your back in America. We have no recourse. I mean, and there are people smarter than you and I who are looking like, yo, I don't know what we're going to do. Because it's so bad that as Joe Biden screws this over, Black leadership is totally in hiding. You don't hear anything from like Cornel West or Al Sharpton.
Nah, but remember, Joe said you need to holler at the Latino community. Don't come to me. Talk to them.
He did. He said you're going to have to answer the Latinos. Right? Joe said that. But look at how everybody is gone. Simone Sanders, Stacey Abrams. These people who led you down this road, where are they now? Even Yvette Carnell went into hiding for 5 months and then came back like a broken phoenix talking about ADOS advocacy group. Bro, we don't have anyone else. We don't have anything else. These people, it was like, yo, mama, you know the story of Jack and the Beanstalk? His mom sent him with the cow or something to do something, and he traded the cow for some magic beans. That's what we did. Our leadership traded our last cow for some magic beans. And now we standing here holding on to three black eyed peas, the real dry ones too, that ain't have moisture in a while. We just stand here with three not magic beans, regular beans. And we're like, where do we go from here?
Right.
And you still got people trying to paint this picture as if ADOS is on the verge of some major breakthrough. No, it's like we're on the verge of everything falling through because all of our people are still. What's the number one slogan right now, Dynast? For the past 4 years running, cut the check.
Cut the check.
It's evidently clear that they're not going to give you no check. And because our people's mind is so focused on that, we can't even put anything together to help us recover from, from these blows that we've taken. It's like somebody who plays an NBA season, they lose in the finals, and they never make it back because all they keep doing is focusing on how we lost in the 93 finals. They're not trying to make the adjustments needed to carry them back to the finals. We're not even assessing the mistakes that were made. Dynasty, can you think of one group that's assessing the mistakes they made and literally like taking the steps to repair or fix those mistakes moving forward?
Expand on when you say we're trying to. What do you mean?
Okay,
Like when you
okay,
say what groups are assessing the situation and repairing?
okay. I'm
I
gonna give
mean,
you.
the Jewish community did that.
We're not Jewish. I'm talking about black groups. Black groups,
Okay, black groups
right?
as a whole.
As a whole, or even
No.
as individual groups. I'll give you an example. So on my channel today, I showed a little snippet from the ADOS conference. Tone didn't show up. Yvette was there, but they didn't record her parts. This brother is like, we voted for Biden 92%. We put him there. And we need to this and that. And he only cut our funding down to $2 billion for HB,
Hmm.
all these complaints, right? but no one in that entire
Brandon froze up, guys. Hit that like button again, please. Hit that like button.
I froze up.
Also, make sure you go to dynastymir.com. Yeah, Brandon and froze up on us. Okay. Yeah, Brandon got that. Brandon, that was that Metro PCS. You got that boost
Bootleg.
Wi-Fi, Metro PCS Wi-Fi. Let me grab my charger. Go ahead, Brandon.
I'm good now though.
You good? You good? Let me grab my charger.
Okay. So and what I mean by we're not making the assessments to make the adjustments, right? On the stage, right? On the stage at the ADOS conference, and Dinah's got some playback going. But on the stage at the FBA conference, right? You never heard what you needed to hear from this group that has led you down the wrong path. They talk about, oh, Biden, we voted for him 92%. He's cutting. They leveled all the complaints. They listed all the ways Biden has screwed them over. They listed all that. But never did you hear one of them say, we need to get a message to our people. Dinus, you got feedback.
No, I'm back.
No, but you got feedback playing like what I thought. But never.
Is it good now? Because I had removed my mic and I put it back on. Are we good?
Better. It's better.
Okay.
All right,
go ahead.
So Dinus, fill me on this point. At the ADOS conference, right? You heard they were listing all the ways Biden screwed them over and didn't honor what they claimed was his agreements. I didn't hear Biden make no promises to black folks. I didn't hear that. But this is what they never said, Dinus. Look, guys, we messed up. Now we need to put the Democrats on notice that we're not about to let you get away with what you did. We're about to go for another party. I'm not saying Democrats, I mean Republicans. You go Libertarian, you go Green Party, you go Socialist Party. There's a lot of parties. But in what way are any of these groups going to make Democrats pay? And specifically Joe Biden, how are we going to make him pay for screwing us over, Dinus? Have you heard anybody talking about that? Have you heard Tariq talking about that? ADOS talking about that? Now that they've screwed us over a year in, they've made it clear they're not doing nothing for us. Have you heard any groups talking about, yo, we need to send a message to these folks?
Well, how send a message? How, Brandon? How? With what?
Listen, so look, I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, hold your vote and all that. I'm not one of those. But you could put them on notice right now, Dinus. We will not be voting for you in next election. And using this time to organize around the idea of we are not voting Democrat next election. But you could spend 3 years getting all your people on board with this idea to the point where come election time, they'll be trying to throw you stuff before election time to ensure that you're going to vote for them. Right or wrong, Dinus?
Right.
You know how we got that message out, cut the check, and they had to acknowledge cut the check? They were like, we ain't giving no checks, right? That means they acknowledged the cut the check. Now, what if you put a new message? This is the or else part. You mess with the bull, now you're going to get the horns. And you put those T-shirts on, and you got them all over internet talking trash about that. Dinus, I'm telling you, they'll be at your doorstep. Okay. What can we give you so you guys so you guys will vote for us? We're not even trying to do that. No one wants to admit that they made a misstep, even amongst our own group. People who voted for Biden, you can never get them to say, "Look, I messed up. I voted for Biden." They make every excuse, and that's the issue, Dinus. The reason why Black America is going to fall through is because in order to solve a problem, you have to admit you have a problem. We still haven't got to the part where we're admitting that we have a problem when it comes to our voting practices. So you're doomed. So until we start admitting that, you got to start investing somewhere else.
All right, Shirley, go ahead, Miss Huzar. Everybody
Hey,
shout
thank you.
Shirley Huzar.
You know what?
Go
Thank
ahead,
you
Miss
so
Huzar.
much. How do I say your name? Help me out, bro.
You can call me Brandon.
Brandon, brilliant. Brilliant. Everything that you said, I appreciate your heart and your thoughts. You know, the bottom line is this. We don't talk enough about financial set-asides. We don't talk about Black businesses. In California, we're down to 3 to 6%. So when you go to Texas or you go to Mississippi, or you go to some of these southern places, we still have a little hope because our numbers are larger and our foundation in the ground is stronger. This is the problem you have with the Biden administration. They never were going to do anything from you. They never going to do anything for you. And all you Negroes who voted for him, well, la di da. He's better than Trump. Is he? Is he? Because now you're living with the outcome of your gas is going to $10 a gallon. I'm in real estate. Dynas is in real estate. We work together. I have a company called Cal Texas Homes where people are moving out of California to Texas. A young couple reached out to me the other day. They said, look, they came out and they looked at homes in Texas and then they went back to California. They had $12,000. Now they call me and say, Miss Shirley, we down to $9,000, almost 7.5. We are losing. We have a negative of $50 a month in our budget. We can't afford to live here. We're going to run out of money. Many of you Negroes who are watching Dynas has been on point. He has given you options. If you stay in the States, you're going to pay. If you get out of the States, you need to learn the other culture. Africa is different than American culture, but it's still the motherland, and you need to respect it. You need to have a clarity about it. Dynas is providing you that. He's providing you that through his website and properties that you can purchase. If you don't want to purchase there, then you work with me and Brandon and continue to fight. I'm talking about African American descendants of slaves. We are descendants of the colonists. We are Black children who did not get our benefits, and it goes all the way back to the Freedmen Bureau Bank, where they had this bank where we had all this money, and people in Congress raped and stole us. Why isn't there a class action lawsuit against that? We have that issue going on. We got the issues of the immigrants and the illegal immigrants. They are giving, $2,300 to the Afghanistanians, and they give them housing. Well, hell, you got 90 to 80% of Black people in LA who
Hold
ain't
on,
got
wasn't it $6 billion they gave to Afghan refugees?
Yeah, and I'm talking about per family. We're not talking about overall. But do you see Negroes up in arms? Oh, those poor people, let's help them.
No, you know what we're doing? Attacking Black immigrants. We're going after Black immigrants while our reparations are being handed to Afghanis, Hispanics, and Asians. This year alone, Biden has passed 3 reparation acts where he's given reparations, and this was their words, to 3 different groups instead of ours. And let me tell you something about this, Shirley. I live in California, right? Am I moving out of California? No, I'm doing fine. I'm doing just fine in California. But why? Because I have something that a lot of Black people once had but lost. I have what's called entrepreneurial spirit. I have drive. I go make money. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to bring in some money. These people moving out of California are people who are like, I got to find a job so I can get money to pay my mortgage. Listen, let me tell you something. You're always going to be running, because when they're done with here, they're going to come there. Because let me tell you something, what's going on. All this liberal ignorance is transferring from California to Texas. You saw Arizona went blue. That hadn't happened in a while. Why? Because a lot of Californians, before they was moving to Texas, they was moving to Arizona, right? They was moving to Phoenix. That used to be the largest influx of people from California. Now it's Texas, right? It's not going to stop. You can't run away from your own bad habits. That's like somebody saying, yeah, I'm going to move. That's like some thought and chick. It's like, yeah, I'm going to move away from my city because there's too much drama. Well, if you don't change who you are, you're going to take that drama with you everywhere you go. That's why I tell my folks, I say, look, ain't nothing going to change if you don't. If you don't stop voting Democrat, you're just going to go wherever, and you're going to make that place as bad as you made the place you came from. And even in places like Idaho, because there's a lot of white folks is fleeing to Idaho, right? Idaho has a group committee. When you go into Idaho, right? Boise, they got a committee that meet with you and sit down with you and explains to you the stuff you was doing in California, the way you was voting and all that. Y'all not doing that here, because y'all not about to drive. Even when you go to look for a home, they will meet with you to make sure you're not paying over the market rate. See, it's not as easy as just getting up running off, because Atlanta used to be the place where we ran to. Now people can't afford that, right or wrong, Dynas.
There's some feedback on my end, so I muted myself. People are completely priced out of Atlanta.
Right. But remember when we used to all run to Atlanta, Dynasty? That was the
Can't
first
do it
time.
no more. I make $45,000. I'm balling. I get me a acre, 3,000 square foot home. I'm sitting on an acre for 100,000.
Texas is the same way. So right now you have to look at Mississippi and Arkansas and a couple of those other areas to find you some there. Even though you have an entrepreneur spirit, and I give you a lot of props, brother. A lot of Black people can't move because they've got so many years in their job that their pension, they don't want to lose their pension. So they know they need to move, but they can't. That's one aspect of it. Another aspect is the election is rigged. I just believe. The election has become rigged because, here's Gavin Newsom, who ended up getting reelected, if you like Larry Elder or whoever you voted for. He got reelected and got more votes the first time than the second time, but yet we have the largest poverty of homelessness, hepatitis A, and traces of Black plague throughout California. So, I'm born and raised native of California, been here all my life, and I've never seen such disparity and such disgusting mass. But what the Democrat Party has done is said, look, this state will be the template of socialism. This state will show the world how it is going to encompass and take on all these other culture of people. The word reparations has become tainted, in my opinion. I don't think we need to use that word. We need to use the terminologies that others are using and getting money. They're getting set aside. They're getting money from SAM, and they're able to get governmental grants. They're able to get governmental proposals set aside for minorities. Well, everybody's a minority. A dog's a minority now. Every white woman's a minority. A, B, C, D, E, F, G people are minority. Minorities were supposed to be Black people, but now Black has not been clarified. So now we've separated ourselves and say we are African Americans, descendants of slaves. Here's your problem. No tea, no shade against Yvette Cornell, her movement and all that she's done. But Yvette Cornell does not represent Black family.
Man, you better throw that shade. This is one piece.
Look, she doesn't represent Black family. If you
let me say this, Shirley.
Dressed at the convention, let me finish the last thought. She was dressed like a man. No tea, no shade. I don't care who you sleep with, but I'm sorry. I like me a strong alpha male man. I'm not a liberal Black woman. I'm always telling Dinah's that's one of the finest Black pieces of chocolate on this planet. And right now, I just go, oh boy, I lick my lips every time I see that chocolate. Here. And then we have
don't hate, Brandon. Don't hate, Brandon. Don't hate, Brandon. Don't hate.
I'm sorry. And then you guys always speak well of Black women. Then you got niggas out here, excuse me, I won't use that word, Negroes with the S with my eyes open real big, that sit back and beat up Black women all day. That Black woman, she ain't no good. That's because you messing with them damn Mexicans, nigga. Anyway, I digress. Go ahead, Brandon, talk your shade. Go ahead.
So even in the comments, you got Prodac Black, right? She's a Black Trumper. We're still, realize the mind of a Black person. You still have Black people who, if you sound like you're talking common sense, now you're a Trumper. This is how they got us.
Right.
They got us to the point where we think that common sense means you're a Republican or you support Trump. That's like me saying, this is like my wife said, Brandon, you need to eat healthy. But because some guy who was like a pedophile worked at was the guy, the representative for Subway, that's like me saying, oh babe, you talking about eating healthy, huh? Oh, so you talking that Jared talk, the child molester talk, huh? Because he was talking that healthy eating stuff too. But you see what he was doing? That's the most ignorant. That is the lowest level of comprehension, where you associate something that benefits you to someone you don't like, right? So therefore, you will actually go against what benefits you because it is associated with someone who you don't like. What is that called? Like when they say chew the meat, spit out the fat. Look, guys, conservative values, Black common sense values, they are not automatically attached to Donald Trump. Just like self-destruction is not automatically attached to Democrats.
Absolutely.
These people they slide between policies and understandings all the time. Black folks always talk about we're not a monolith. But then when we get on some ignorance, we sure are monolithic because we all on that. When one of us ignorant, we all want to be ignorant. And then the person who's like, bro, don't do that. Oh, you a hater, bro. Oh, you must be a Trump supporter. Look, I voted for Donald Trump twice. I'm a Trump supporter. But if I tell you that moving to Texas ain't gonna help you because you take your same bad voting practices over there, am I wrong? If I tell you that you shouldn't put 87 gasoline in a Mercedes Benz, oh, I must be wrong because I'm a Trump supporter. That's the type of stupid stuff black people talk about. Oh, because you think like this on this issue, you must be wrong on all other issues. And where has that gotten us right now? Because Yvette Carnell, Antonio, and I'm throwing shade. I don't give a damn. I ain't about to sit up protecting these people. They not protecting me. So here's the thing. Yvette get up there and talk her stuff with her neck moving, talking crap to people. We gonna do this. We gonna match that energy. Here's the thing. You thought ADOS was what you thought that was cracking. Then ADOS led you into a ditch with the Democratic Party. So when are you gonna realize? Maybe I'm just a horrible judge of what's good and what's bad. Because every time something looks good to me, it ends up falling through. You got to start with the person looking at you in the mirror because that's your biggest problem. Some people are not good judges of character. You guys judge Biden. You thought he was changed. You thought he was somebody different, but he showed you. Now you got to realize, you know what? Maybe I'm not qualified to make these type of decisions. Maybe I should just listen to someone who is. And I'll rest the mic on that.
I just want to add, I want to say one more thing, and I'm gonna let welcome the reparations. Let me just say this: I totally agree with Brandon when we talk about. We keep saying Trump. Let's make this clear. Trump brought to the forefront America first. The America first concept is reality. We are getting away from America and we are integrating socialists and other people's ideologies while we get put not on the back burner. We're not even on the back burner. We are off the porch. That's how bad it is for Black people who are descendants of slaves. We are off the porch. The CBC is not representing you. You aren't representing you, and you're eating your own. And YouTube won't let people. I'm lucky. I'm grateful. Dynas is still on. T. West got taken down. I got to talk in riddles and nursery rhymes to kind of get messages to you people. They don't let the normal Black people have a voice. But if you want to talk about screwing over a Black man and a Black woman, be at it, boy. They love that. So that is not helping to grow our culture of people. When we talk about shade against Yvette, Yvette's a very smart woman, and I've told her that. She's had moments, breaks of brilliance. But Yvette does not represent Black family first. Ain't no man want a man with a man suit on. She don't work in the Black community. As far as your front representatives, they just don't. Are they part of the community? Yes. But to have that as your front line, other cultures wouldn't even take us serious. If you want to sit with tribal leaders and she's your tribal leader in the group, and you got the Jews and you got the Mexicans and you got the Chinese and the people from Belize, and then you got the ADOS, and here's Yvette in the front. You'd be like, where are all the Black men? Where are the alpha Black men? Oh, they're suppressed by Black women and white Americans.
Wait, Dynas, can I say this one thing real fast? So when you look at the comments, this shows you how dumb our people are collectively. You got one guy talking about, look it up. In 1972, Trump was under. Nigga, who cares? I'm sorry, let me not say nigga. What does that have to do with right now? Nothing. And that's where we are. You're just looking for an excuse to keep making self-destructive decisions. A crackhead can make a reason. You remember on that movie, Jungle Fever? Remember the dude, Brother Gator, went in the house? And he said, Mom, I need to take the TV. I owe somebody some money. Right? And the mama was like, the Reverend going to be mad if you take his TV, Gator. And Gator was like, I'm going to bring it right back. I want to watch the football game. Then he got shot and died. That's you, Rax. You said all this bull crap that don't mean nothing when the gun is pointed at your head, dude. Trump doing something in 1972 cannot feed your family. When your kids look at you and say, "Dad, we hungry," say, "You know what? I know you're hungry, but in 1972, Trump was under investigation for housing discrimination. And he got the military draft. You should do that. You should go talk to your kids about that. And let me tell you something. Usually, if they don't care, it don't got nothing to do with you. So have common sense, black man.
All right, real quick, Shirley, real quick. Let me give me 30 seconds. I just want to make an announcement real quick. Somebody was asking about the tour to Sierra Leone, and someone asked eligible for citizenship with a question mark. Yes, African ancestry DNA test. If your results come back and is linked to one of the tribes in Sierra Leone, you're eligible for this green passport right here in Sierra Leone. You're eligible. So I'm taking a group November 19th citizenship ceremony. So if you have a DNA test from African ancestry that links you to a tribe in Sierra Leone, you are eligible for citizenship as long as you don't have, they want a background check. So they want a state background check and federal. So hopefully you don't have any record. I don't know what they're looking for. But the first step, DNA test, African ancestry, clean record, you should be good to go. All right, go ahead.
Do you have to get a shot? Do you have to have the shot prior to travel?
No, just you have to take a test, just the COVID test.
Family, can you hear me? This is Angela Nirvana from the Reparationist Perspective channel. Can you hear me?
You hear you. Go ahead.
Wonderful. I got about 10 minutes, but I do want to thank my sis star, Miss Shirley Huzar. She is always connecting me to the most important exchanges happening in the social media spaces, and she got me on Fox Soul. She's just extraordinary in every way. I'm grateful to you. Listen, I want to talk about a couple things because I got to jump in about 10 minutes. So if y'all could just let me bless your mic, I thank you for welcoming me on your platform. Listen, about Yvette Carnell, what happened with the down ballot was she did not teach it effectively. Most American descendants of chattel slaveries included the Democrats at the top of that ticket too. That's what down ballot means. That's what down ballot meant to them. So not voting at all, I hear a lot of people in the new black media talking about don't go and vote. Well, let me help you with something. Not voting is suppressing your own vote, which is exactly what they want us to do. We've been neutralized economically. Now immigration is being weaponized against us by the Democrats to neutralize our vote. Now, Teddy Roosevelt, after being delivered the presidency from the black vote, dishonorably discharged 167 Buffalo soldiers who were wrongfully accused of murdering a second white man after being quarantined in their barracks for being wrongfully accused of murdering the first. Dr. Charles Morris, pastor of Abyssinian Church, said, "You shot us when our guns were empty, and for that we are going to return the same by delivering a blue top of the ticket and a red Congress to protect the Black South." I am calling on all ADOS, F. Friedman, B1, FBA, to stop this madness of rewarding the Democrats with a trifecta when they continue to neglect our social and economic justice because their capitalism requires an anchor, and they decided it's us by way of legislation overwrought with institutional systemic racism. I am imploring upon us that we weaponize the only commodity we've got as a collective, the ADOS vote, akin to the strategy of Dr. Charles Morris. Deliver them a red top of the ticket and a blue Congress by voting anybody but Democrats at the top of the ticket to protect the over 50% of ADOS who rely on government assistance by design of institutional systemic racism until we can replace the lanes in Congress with full-chested cash reparationists who believe in repair the trillions over multi-generations. I can promise you this, a trifecta of either party has proven to be the death knell for ADOS. We are at George Floyd as state-sanctioned and deputized executions of ADOS continues. This last little bit, if you could bear with me, is 3 minutes. I hear the Pan-Africanists trying to make us out to be xenophobes because we're trying to put up a gate around our repair. Well, let me share some facts with you real quick from the Commonwealth LA, and then I'll let you guys go. I got to jump. Education is great. This was on the task force meeting yesterday for California reparations. Education is great. We especially need to teach our history to our kids since A lot of these people in this country pretend that we are the racists for wanting our kids to be taught true American history, which includes our never-ending Holocaust. But education doesn't guarantee employment, given that our affirmative action benefits everyone but us, nor does it close the over $100 trillion egregious racial wealth gap. We've got 900,000 kids 65 and under here in California. And of 215,000 teachers, roughly 12,000 or 5.5% are Black. 22,000 of our kids are in foster care. Our youth make up 15% of the youth nationwide. And yet, of all the youth that are detained, we occupy 41%. I'm asking you, even though we all suffer racism, who's impacted by foster care and the preschool to prison pipeline? Nigerians who are worth $72,000 here in Southern California, who also some of which descend from slave traders who chose to migrate here? Or is it ADOS, whose ancestors were sold into chattel slavery, who have a $3,500 wealth position, or 4.5% of Nigerian wealth in the country our ancestors built with their lives? What you are contemplating.
You mad at Nigerians?
Please, let me finish.
No. So you mad? So you're
No,
mad?
let her finish. Let her finish, Brad. I'm Nigerian. Let her finish. Let her finish.
I would like to finish.
You on a Nigerian platform? This is Nigerian.
Excuse me. I would like to finish. What you are contemplating with our reparations and sharing it with Black immigrants is akin to another white wealth transfer, which clearly has already been done in education and the workforce, both in the public and private sectors, per our affirmative action. Class-based policies don't fix race. When you elevate everyone, the Black American descendant of U.S. chattel slavery is still on the bottom. Furthermore, I don't recall any other group having to share their reparations with migrants. In closing, it is evident by the wealth position of immigrants, including the Black ones, and the wealth position of whites, that ADOS is clearly your reparations. It is time for ADOS to take care of ADOS. No other group is as oppressed, and everyone eats from the wealth our ancestors generated with their lives, but us, their descendants. I thank you for this platform. I thank you for allowing me to share. Peace. I gotta jump.
So Dynas, the whole thing was this is what we do best, right?
Well, Brandon, let me ask Shirley a question. I'm gonna ask Shirley a question real quick, Brandon.
Sure.
Okay, so Shirley. Now this is kind of where I differ. Now she brought up Nigerians in regards to their net worth in America being $72,000. Now, the when it comes to the wealth issue with the Black community, me being born and raised, it seems like we always deflect and point the finger at other groups or at policy versus just, taking accountability and saying, listen, instead of buying a house, I went and bought, the Donk Chevy on 27th. I saw a lot of that in Atlanta, especially where I live in Atlanta, okay, in the West End. Houses are going for the average house, decent house now is about $450,000 plus. Back not even 8 years ago, houses on my same street, they were selling them for $20,000. But then we want to cry gentrification because this white man, in the suburbs decided to come get the house, rent it out, and then flip it. But we wanted nothing to do with it. So are we deflecting, Shirley? Are we not holding ourselves accountable when it comes to, I guess, the issues and the faults and the mistakes in the Black community? And are we always blaming others outside of the Black community?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think right now it's about self-preservation. I mean, and really having a clarification of self-preservation. We talk about Pan-African, right? I think you provide that bridge, which is beautiful. I've said that before. I am part Nigerian. I've done my DNA. I have Sierra Leone, Nigerian. I have a large percentage of African in me. So I will never deny my heritage. But in saying that, I'm also a descendant of slaves. I was brought here through slavery. I can trace my ancestors back to 1854 in Beaumont, Texas. My father had me very late in life. He was almost in his 50s, and he was born in 1920. He would be 101 years old today. My father and mother were very activists in Los Angeles. For those who lived in Los Angeles, there was a school called Tiny Town College, and my father was definitely B1 first. So it wasn't about talking and proposing ideas. I have a background of that. So I say that all to say I've learned from all that to say this is where we're at. Until we understand what other people are getting on the table, we get the leftovers. We don't even get McDonald's. We get the crumbs. Other people are getting steak on the table, which means what? Set asides, governmental programs, incentives. We don't use the right terminologies. We keep talking about reparations. I'm not anti-reparations. I agree with Angela on a lot of things. I appreciate her passion. Y'all think she's angry. Well, you ought to be as angry as she is because she sees the pain. Anyone in California who walks the streets that we walk in Los Angeles, we feel pain every day because we got to step over our own people. And now they criticize us because you have people like, I forgot her name, Shirley. She does hair. She's on Instagram. She's Black. Do you know she's teaching Black people how to make toilets? She's taking kitty litter and putting them into trash bins, having you sit on them so that you have some sanity of where you can go to the bathroom. And now I want to be soon to be indicted Ridley Thomas, who just got announced it today, is on Twitter talking about we don't need people pooping in trash bins. Well, Negro, where do they poop at since you provide no bathroom and the bathrooms you provide don't compensate for the numbers of homelessness in this country? So to answer your question, Dinus, I do believe we need to look at other cultures and then hold accountable to Congress and elected officials. I also believe we don't have enough lobbyists for ADOS. And I know there's a young lady who was in scenario talking about I'm going after Yvette. You can't have a front runner who looks like that. I'm sorry. I need a strong Black man with a Black wife and some children to show this is what we're trying to preserve. I'm not trying to preserve a woman in a man's suit. I don't care how well her message is put out there. I don't care about her ideologies and how she's thinking. I've been around before Yvette Cornell. I don't care how many followers she has. Her team and her tribe has been broken because this woman cannot unite people, but her message is wonderful. And I told you she's had breaks of brilliance, but we need strong Afro-American men to shine. We need to support people like Dinus and others. So if you're going to invest in Africa. If you're going to invest in America. But realize, like when Dinus tried to tell people many years ago, hey, y'all need to move to Atlanta. I said, hey, you need to move to Texas. You need to get out of those areas. And they said, hey, I'm doing well in California. Californians are going to run out of money. People say, I'm good. You're going to run out of money unless you plan and understand this is going to be the worst inflation in U.S. economy.
Can I please respond to all this?
Go ahead, Brandon. Let me meet myself.
So here's the problem. Shirley, I like you. That lady, she's whatever. She doesn't make any sense. You guys are still trying to carry a dead body, talking about Yvette Carnell's message is great. It's not. The message is absolute garbage. But she's a woman, so women are going to jump on her bandwagon, not really listening, because women don't really listen well to what she's saying. But guess who does listen well? Them white folks sitting up in Washington. They listen better than you. Here's the reality. Dinus, did the government take from our HBCUs to give money to Afghanis or to Nigerians? Okay, Dinus said Afghanis. Shirley, we know it was Afghanis, right? Was it Afghanis, Shirley, or was it Nigerians?
I think she said Nigerians. I'm not sure.
No,
that part. I'm not focused on that part. When people go into their answers of other African cultures, I kind of
ask you a
my
question.
brain went off a little bit there, so I apologize.
Let me ask you a question. Did the government just steal from our HBCUs to give aid to Nigerians or Afghanis?
You're asking me that question? Right now, Afghans are number one on their list to help. And they have all these shows like the Today Show, Let's Have the Afghani Woman, and all of that other stuff.
Okay. So they just took your money from your HBCUs and they just gave $6.3 billion to not Nigerians, but to Afghanis. But all Black people can focus on, including that lady, whatever her name is other Blacks. Let me ask you a question right here. What opportunity and this is to you, Shirley, what opportunity do Nigerians have in America that Black Americans did not enjoy for several decades before Nigerians began to come here?
Being a descendant of Nigerian, I'm going to make things clear to you. As a descendant of slave Nigerian, I am a different type of Nigerian. I was born in America. As a Nigerian, the rules and regulations for immigrants, foreigners, and aliens, and I'm using those three terminologies because that's what government has in bylaws. Sometimes they're called aliens, sometimes they're called foreigners, and they're called immigrants. They are allotted, listen to what I'm saying to you, different financial restitutions than an African American descendant of slave. They are allotted certain monies, certain set asides. Like I told you, the EB5 visa.
So we just have agreed.
Let me finish.
So we agreed that we're not going to
get the fact they're Nigerian. Let's throw Nigerian out.
No. You're just
they are an immigrant.
Shirley, let me finish my point. You had an opportunity to answer it. You chose excuses. Let me get back to adult talk. I'm gonna go back to adult talk. There was not one thing that a Nigerian had access to that a Black American hasn't had access to for decades. We don't have the $72,000 per capita for each family, not because Nigerians got set asides and all that stuff. Nigerians was just getting deported by Donald Trump. We don't have it because we didn't want it. Because when all those people, we put our faith into Democrats. We bet our bank on equality, Dynast. Right or wrong, Dynast?
Right.
We didn't go after business and economics. We went after equality. In the 90s, the 2000s, Dynast, was Black people sending their kids to medical school, or was they taking their kid out to the football and basketball court?
Football and basketball.
We chose to invest in sports and entertainment. And we teased and made fun of the Nigerian who was going into STEM and economics and science. He was a booty scratcher. Now that they're reaping the rewards of making a better investment, now we pocket watching. Oh, they got this much and we got that much. How many, let me ask a question, Dynast. How many Nigerians did it take to make a Jay-Z?
To make a Jay-Z?
Yeah. How many Nigerian immigrants do it take to add up to Jay-Z's wealth?
I don't know. I mean, not
probably thousands.
Thousands, yeah.
How many Nigerians do it take to add up to Puff Daddy's wealth?
Thousands.
Dr. Dre, name the list goes on and on and on and on. The problem is that lady who was yelling, she's still trying to drag Yvette Carnell's failed xenophobic rhetoric into 2021. And so you already know where her stuff is ultimately headed. Because just like she could pull up, oh, the median Nigerian has this, this, and that. Well, they're going to say, well, look at this. Nigerians only make up this much of the population. You got 40 million people. Instead of being like, yo, we need to get together and do something economic, we still focused on begging. This woman ain't going to rally nobody to start a business, but she going to get on here and yell and scream about securing something that's in a white person's pocket. That's our problem right there. We organize for everything except economic benefit.
Brandon, can I ask you a question?
Brandon, you know you be long-winded, Brandon. You know you be long-winded.
Right,
go ahead, Brandon.
Brandon, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
When you talk about, I want to get off of Nigerians. I'm not here to talk about Nigerians. I know she brought that up, and I know it got you heated. And we all can beg to agree or disagree. Let's go back.
We can't beg to disagree. It's wrong and it's not right. And I don't really give a damn about Nigerians. What I care about is Black Americans looking around at everybody else instead of focusing on what we're doing that's perpetuating our problem.
I understand that. Brandon.
Wait. Let me say this. Let me say this last thing. First, you said, I'm not going to throw shade at Yvette. And on this, we could agree to disagree. Don't you see, Shirley, that's the problem? Y'all too busy when it comes to the real issues. Y'all want to try to let's agree to disagree. Oh, and I don't want to insult this person. Well, if I come up and slap you in the face, are you gonna say, "Oh, I don't want to throw shade on them," or we can agree? No, you're gonna try to take my head off. That's the point we're at, Shirley. We
Brandon,
gotta take somebody's head off.
do you know that I'm not a Democrat?
I know you're not a Democrat.
Okay, do you know that I am the first African American in U.S. history to represent a state when it came to announcing for Trump and when it came to representative of her people? I was the only African American in 2016 with her family in U.S. history that spoke for conservative and Black businesses, and that were given that platform and spoke at the at the Republican National Convention. So a lot of the policies where you said we did this, we did no, dear. There's no we. It's whoever's the Democrat and what y'all supported with Biden and the outcome and the antics of it. I've written articles and I've done videos on it. And I want to say this: when it comes to immigrants and migrants, you have to pay attention because they're getting all the money. And we are not acknowledging how they get money, and we don't. And everybody keeps saying, "Oh, we need to focus on us." We all know we need to focus on us, but you can't keep focusing or just devaluing the fact that these people the Jews are getting money and we're giving money to poor Jews and we don't take care of our own people. And they're going to say, well, that's your people. Yeah, but that's my government tax dollars going towards those people. So if we don't understand set-asides, if we don't understand government proposals, if we don't understand minority funds that are in grants and deeds that are given towards Black businesses need to flourish. And we need a Black lobbyist, and we need a Black congressional group that represent ADOS, okay? Until we get that struggle clarified, we're going to continue to struggle. And I'm not here to be an advocate for Yvette, but I will say this much. Doggone it, at least she brought a more push to the front to make people talk about it. Now, the outcome of
Yvette sold you out. That's all Yvette did was sold you out, and y'all too blind to see that Yvette sold y'all out to Democrats.
No, there's no y'all. You keep saying y'all.
No, you keep saying. Oh, I will say this about Yvette. Yvette was a sellout from day one. Stop bringing up that sellout. She sold you out. That's it. It's not
talking about reparations as hard as Yvette before Yvette.
Listen to what I'm telling you.
Reparations.
Yvette, listen.
Who was talking about it before Yvette?
There is a lawyer. You know? Listen, Shirley. Let me tell you something.
All right, yeah. Let's do this. Let's
Dennis, let me fill this argument real quick. It takes 1 second. Okay, we have a lawyer in the audience named Philip Lindsay. Everyone's relaxed. I'm sick of this mess. We have a lawyer in the audience named Philip Lindsay. If you get with Philip, Philip will explain to you and show you in the law of the United States of America where it tells you that you cannot give reparations based on anything from slavery to anybody in the United States anymore. They cut that out a long time ago. It's a law. Yvette has went on record and said reparations ain't coming no time soon. Why are y'all stuck in the monkey trap? The reparations argument got your whole mind in a headlock. Instead of saying, look, it's not coming no time soon. Let's focus on something else and come back later on and deal with this. Y'all still stuck right there.
And no, y'all. You keep saying y'all. I'm not part of that, y'all.
Why do we keep
on my channel, and I've talked about the Freedmen Bureau Bank. I've talked about how that money was allocated to us and we didn't get that money. I've also talked about how Lyndon B. Johnson, through the Great Society, broke up the Black family, taking the Black man and putting him in prison. We still haven't converted and changed the laws that when you go to jail, you convert back to slavery and you lose your rights to vote. There are things that we could be addressing with that are more prevalent, but right now we're dealing with inflation. Nobody Black is talking about how bad inflation is going to be. I have studied.
Hey, Shirley, to interject, then I'm gonna pass to the flagship. But just a question: can you really go into detail in regards to inflation? And then I'm gonna pass to the flagship. But go ahead. The floor is yours, Shirley.
Inflation is going to be off the chain. You know, for those who don't know me, I have a background in real estate. I'm a licensed realtor out of California. I've been for 30 years. I invest in California and I invest in Texas and other parts of the United States. We have never seen an economy. You know, we remember when '05 crashed. I'm going to try to make it more relevant than going back in time and bringing it. You know, people talk about the past. I ain't going that far. Let's do 2005. When Obama was running, and 2008 when Obama was running, and we knew we had this crash, and people were losing their houses, and Wall Street was losing their mind, and they were getting bonus checks, and we found out all that, and eventually it affected us. It was a trickle down factor. Now we're in a situation where this is a global economy breakdown, right? When COVID-19 hit, the world shut down, countries shut down, people got put into their homes and they were, you know, basically quarantined. We all know that. Now they're trying to open up the country again. Here's the problem. People were getting paid so well and they manipulate the systems and so well that they don't want to go back to work. Well, the Biden administration doesn't know how to restart America. They don't, because we got so far off track and we're continually getting off track. And we're talking about a fourth stimulus. Well, we're running out of money. Where's that money going to come from? So inflation means that when you don't have real money in place paying and people aren't working, everything becomes inflated. Your gas, your water, your electricity, how you eat, how far you travel, how much time you can spend with friends and movement in your life from going from A to Z, because the cost of living continues to elevate. That is our main priority on my channel with my friends. I've talked to a lot of people. I said, if we're going to be one first, and we're talking about Black family, Black people, I'm totally in support of Brandon when he talked about, you know, Black businesses. We need money set aside to reboot Black communities that are oppressed in Southern communities. Because when that happens, you have other cultures of people who cultivate and take over, and they are going to flourish because they have their own banks. The people in India come here and they drop into the tech industry and they bought all the hotels. The people from Nehi come here, ain't one Black construction worker. If I see one Black construction worker, I'm gonna stop, pull over my car and shake his hand, because they have allowed the Latinos to come here and take up our trade industry. When it comes to Armenians, they come here and they bought all the commercial and they're running the gas and oil and gas stations and the little convenience stores. This is the problem. We have gotten out of trade and we have got out of survival skills of food, water, and shelter. If Black Americans don't realize we are in a falsified inflation, no matter what Biden is telling you, the people are spending money where the government is giving them. But once that cuts off and there's no more set aside in lieu of stimulus product given to the people, what are you going to have? You're going to have chaos and spoiled little children that'll be looking through your door saying, "Are you living good? And I can't live good like this anymore."
All right, let's see here. Hey, brother Flagship, go ahead and unmute yourself. Flagship.
Before you hear me?
I hear you. Go
hear
ahead.
Me? Okay.
Yeah,
I wanted to talk about the conversation before Angela stepped in. But I just want to say, just regarding the Nigerians, is that we need to understand that this whole issue has been engineered by these damn Democrats and liberals. Because you got to understand the Nigerian immigrants that came here. These are people who literally kicked out the British. Like, they had that Ogun spirit. They kicked out the damn British, and their economy is thriving. Still some problems there with getting the British all the way out. But we got to understand, these individuals were told coming over here not to mess with us. So this is all being engineered. So all this battle and stuff, I'm not about to fight no Nigerians. I ain't about to fight nobody African, and I damn sure ain't fighting Shamaka. Like Shirley was talking about earlier. There's this group of Black men that want to fight Black women. I ain't getting into all that. I do agree with everyone here talking about businesses. Shout out to you, Dynast. We're trying to bring Black people to Africa to get land and passports and things of that nature. And shout out to Brandon talking about business and things of that nature. But we also have to understand the system that we're in. We have to also get protections. Now, we just can't go and do business like we did before, because remember, our ancestors, especially from after 1865, we had all the skills to pay the bills. We did everything because we were slaves. Remember how they re-engineered everything? They put unions in place to block us out. They had the Klan to come and tear down our cities, tear down our businesses, steal our inventory. They had the police come around and arrest us for no reason, and convict leasing and things of that nature. When our Black soldiers were sending money home to their women to raise their kids and stay at home, they passed the Black Code saying, Black women, you got to get out there and work for white folks for no money. So we not only do we have to get business together, we have to get protection, because what we don't want to be is like Clinton Stewart. Now, Clinton Stewart and all his friends, they their parents taught them, their foundation of Black, they taught them how to do coding, and they got masters in computer engineering and things of that nature. And so at the lower levels, it's good. But when you start being a Black man and going to the next level, and you just a Black man by yourself, you ain't got no white sponsors, so to speak, quote unquote, like Jay-Z and all these the NFL players and so on and so forth, they'll come after you. So what they did was they sued Clinton Stewart and his company for using revenue to pay bills. And they did this right after he won this huge government contract. So it's not just about getting businesses. We also have to get institutions of protection to protect our business leaders and to protect our neighborhoods as well. So both have to go together, economics and guns. Because the thing is, that's what everyone else does. We have to get our banks and everything else together. We also have to protect ourselves. I just want to throw that out there.
All right, Fletcher, appreciate it, brother. One second, let me get go ahead, Brandon. Go ahead.
Let me tell you what's wrong with all this, right? This is what we never want to discuss. We talk about set-asides. We talk about all this government crap, right? Let me tell you something. Our message is wrong at inception because our message revolves around what the government may or may not give us. That's number one, a sign for failure. I want everybody to go to the corner and beg for money and say, I'm going to let whether I can pay my mortgage this month depend on whether somebody gives me enough money while begging on the corner to pay it. Dynast, would you do that?
No.
Okay, it's stupid. You can't count on what's in someone else's pocket because they can say, we'll give you reparations, $1 a month for every Black person in America for the next 3,000 years, and you'll have it, right? Here's the next problem. Our sisters be talking, but our sisters be totally leaving out the reality. Dynast, how many billions of dollars? Okay, we invested in sports. We didn't invest in nothing else. We invest in sports and entertainment, right? Let me ask you a question, Dynast. Do you think the total sum of what America gives to immigrants is greater, or the total sum of money that Black athletes, entertainers, and celebrities have squandered over the past 80 years where we
Squandered.
Right. So we invested in sports, in entertainment, and our investment paid off. We got a lot. We influenced America. That was an investment. You had your little son in Little League. That was an investment. The problem is when we got the money, what do we do with it, Dynast? What do these brothers do with $100 million?
Blow it.
They spent it.
They throw it away. They waste it. So we pocket watching immigrants when we, as a group, have pulled in damn near as much money as white folks. But the problem is we didn't invest in things that benefit the group. We invested in things that got us closer to white folks. So when the guy gets the $100 million contract, he don't move back into the neighborhood. He goes and moves into the white neighborhood. So what we're mad at is ignorant. What we should be focused on is why did we take billions of dollars and blow that on trying to gain acceptance of whites? That's the difference. A Nigerian ain't worried about white people accepting him. I know a doctor who's a millionaire, got a house right over here in the hood. He owned 20 apartments, buildings in LA. That's us who do that. Why aren't our athletes, LeBron and all these folks, why aren't they buying up multifamily units? Huh? Why aren't they investing in real estate? They go build $100 million house, but they don't invest nothing. And instead of telling them, hey, you guys need to invest in our community, we trying to go to the white man. And the white man is like, yo, wait, I just gave y'all billions this year to dribble a basketball. I just gave y'all billions. Been giving y'all billions. Section 8 and all that. You got women paying $13 a month for rent, and men too. What do, Dynast? Do they go get together and start a business? They go buy a Mercedes. So she got a baby Benz while paying $13 a month for rent. It's our choices to all of you. Even if they give you the reparation, you're gonna blow it. Then you're gonna be pocket watching again.
Exactly.
So as a man, I'm speaking to the reality as a father. We have to change the way we operate. And I guarantee you, once we do that, all these problems will disappear within a couple of years.
All right, go ahead, Benuko.
Yeah, that's exactly what you were saying yesterday when you were speaking about Reza Islam and everything else. It's it's our priorities a lot of times. It's like I see this all the time. We have all these investments in sports and in politics, but we're not investing into the STEMs, the technologies, the engineering and math. We should be seeing us be in the science fairs and the spelling bee. You remember that 14-year-old girl that went up to the spelling bee and won? That black girl? That's something. If she was with both parents, it was our priorities to be straight in our lives. And that's exactly what I think needs to be happening with Black America. Cause we're losing more and more and more of our self-respect.
You let me get Bakari on here. It's like a delay on my end. All right, go ahead, Bakari. You got to mute yourself.
Peace, man. Thanks for letting me on.
No problem.
Peace, Brandon, Ben, Chad, everybody. But look, I was listening, right? There are some things when Brandon said we depend on this system too much, right? We constantly complain about the system, then we want to turn around and say, y'all should give us this after all these years, right? If they haven't given us anything after all these years, it's time to look and say, well, you know what? Maybe they're not going to do it, and we need to start building for ourselves, right? See, one of the things I talk about, and I talk to my kids, I mentor, there's businesses that we can do that don't even cost a lot of money. Like, if we truly wanted to come, one of the fastest growing businesses in the United States is the garbage can cleaning. Your outside garbage can, the Herbie Kirby. That's one of the fastest growing business. It may take, for everything, all honesty, you could probably get in that business $2,000. The transportation business, not just trucking, the whole transportation business. But we have to be willing to set aside our differences and our ideologies to do this, right? So here where I live at, right, in the Atlanta area, you don't really see a lot of Hispanics catching Uber. They still have their taxi cabs. They still have their cabs. We can do the same thing, but like Brandon said, we too focused on acceptance from other people. You understand? That's what we want to do. We want to be accepted, right? We don't want to be respected. Respect is what I demand. You feel me? So that's what we should want as a people. There's so much we can do without going around saying, y'all have to give this to us. Now, I do say this for the people that's actually building and doing things. Those other people can be a good distraction. Let them continue to get on folks' nerves while we continue to do what we're going to do, right? But these are some of the things that need to be done. And, I'm going to show you something else. Dogs. I see Brandon always with his dogs, right? Cleaning the dog park. A business that's booming here. I met a lady. She get $10,000 a month. She got 10 dog parks. She go to each dog park twice a week. She can make $10,000 a month. I literally know these people. She went from one $1,500 pickup truck. Because that's another thing about us. We think when we start a business, everything has to be fancy. No, it does not. So she went from that $1,500 pickup truck to now she had like 3 trucks where they have people. Now she's getting like 10,000, right? I did pressure washing, right? I paid $1,000 for my first van. I paid $1,000 for that van. I put about.
Can I say one thing towards the dog situation?
Go ahead,
Brother Picard. I make almost $2,000 a month off dogs. I make about $500 to $600 a month off of one thing. In my backyard, I got a big backyard, and I have kennels set up for my dog. I have 3 dogs. I have 4 kennels. Do you know people will give you between $300 and $500 a week just to keep their dog while they go on vacation? My neighbors next door paid me $700 to keep their dog, Zeus, for I think it was a week and a half when they went to Florida. Why aren't we thinking about these type of things? White folks got pet sitting businesses all over your city, but you got a
Everywhere.
backyard and won't hold a dog back there, give them some food, give them some water, and you make a windfall.
Yeah, everywhere, right? So when I was doing the pressure wash, I spent $1,000 on my van. I put about $300 worth of work in it, right? I made $100,000 off that van in the first year.
Come on now.
We have to understand. We talk about business, but we have to understand business. And when the sister was speaking, when she said, if she see a black person in construction, she gonna get out and shake his hand. You are correct. They are taking those, but the ones that's in it, like me, because I drive trucks too. I do a lot of stuff, right? But I'm trying to learn grading. And I spoke to Brandon about this. You know why I'm doing right now? I'm working on, got to learn to read the schematics, right? Because I know the dream is Africa. Africa is the whole world's dream. And it should be the children of Africa's dream as well, right? Why is it Asians and everybody else is on our mother continent putting in streets and everything? We can learn these skills. I know it might be hard for us sometimes to get the job to learn, but we have to do the due diligence so we can learn to operate this equipment, heavy equipment operators. There's a lot of things that we can do. You can get your skid steer, grading, like I said, grading, paving, learn to do asphalt. There's things that we can do now, right?
Now, you said that one thing you said that we can do. This is what we used to do. Again, food, water, and shelter. Everything that you said is so relevant and so pertinent and so, and I love it. I love it. Everything you said is so real because it's dealing with trades and things that everyday people need to do. Even power washing, cleaning people's roofs off, cleaning the gutters out of the rain gutters with the leaves and stuff. Someone could start a business on that. I met a guy who does doors, and all he does is metal doors. I said, well, do you do windows? He says, no, I just do doors. These are things that we used to do for ourselves and our own people. And we have to realize that's more important than talking about the black colleges and all this other stuff. We need to have self-preservation. And I appreciate you, brother, and what you're saying, because what you're saying is real.
Thank you very much, right? So let me show you something else. When we're in these neighborhoods and our communities, right? When we're in our communities, right? And we go to all these forums. I do a thing, I talk to people, uncomfortable conversations. They're not uncomfortable to me because if I'm giving you my money, we gonna talk, right? But I'm gonna show you something. A lot of these people, they don't like you, but they're gonna respect you. You can make them respect you. You know how much it costs to start a window cleaning business? To clean all these windows at these stores in the community? Man, get you some Windex, some water, a scrub brush, and some paper towel. You are in business. And if these foreigners in your community don't want to shop with you, don't shop with you. Look, man, I stand in front of the corner. The same stuff I'm saying now, I stand in front of their stores, and this is how I speak. That's why I was able to do some of the things that I do. I've done Chinese call me. Hey, man, we need our restaurants clean. You do. Oh, go ahead, man. I'm sorry. I thought Dynasty was speaking. My bad.
No, being one to say. Go ahead, man.
No, like it's the same thing you brought up, Bakari. It's the same thing that goes on in tech. You know that I was listening to a Black in Technology event today, the other day. You know, yesterday I was listening. They were talking about, you know, the blacks are the biggest consumers in tech when it comes down to buying the video games or any other technology stuff.
Yep.
And we don't even invest into the inventors.
Yep.
And that's
right.
That's the same thing. And I saw that, Brandon, I saw what you did with Aquan. Again, my gosh, he has no intervention. He says like he's so defeated that there's just no manhood in him. Most of the Western airlines, they got more balls than him. More. against the vaccine mandates. He can't stand for nothing. So that's why I just want to throw that in there.
Yeah, we sold out, Dinas, on the victim mentality, man. I'm
Right.
not. I can't even start talking about reparations because it's like, look, man, it ain't looking like it's coming no time soon, and we got a lot of pressing issues that are at our front door. Like we got a lot of problems. I can't worry if the rent due tomorrow. I can't be worried about tax season if I'm in the middle of July. Right or wrong, Dinas?
Right.
I'm gonna just wait till my taxes come. Nah, you gotta survive for the rest of the year. And we're in July, but we talking about taxes. We got a lot of problems, but we not talking about no solutions other than what? The white man solution. What's the white man solution? Well, look, man, I know I owe you some money. You know, Dennis, how somebody owe you money for a long time, then they come out of nowhere and they give it to you like, whoa, you be surprised that they gave you your money.
Right.
That's what we want from the white man. You can't bank on that. You got to start getting. Look, I posted a video on my channel. Dinus, west side of Long Beach. I went to this burger stand. Dinus, it was a lily white boy in that burger stand, working that grill, making shakes, giving you your food. This is an Asian-owned burger stand. It used to be all Mexicans working in it. Dinus, I was so shocked. I pulled out my phone. I started recording. I said 10 years ago, you would have never saw this. It was so true that the Mexican people in the car next to me said, yeah, man, you right. You right. You would have never saw this. And I made a video talking about white people, Dinus, are even re-entering into the urban workforce. They're not proud. They're not saying, oh, I don't want to work that job. They're going to work whatever job brings them in some money. Black folks are like, we're not going to do that. We're not going to clean windows. What we're going to do is go and bet on white. They're going to give us that stimulus that's going to carry us to the next, through the next.
Yeah, that's a delusion, brother. You and me both know it. The inflation. This has come down to, look. It ain't even about black or white. When it comes to inflation, it's about who's got money and who don't got money. And if you're not going to have any money if you don't have a job or a creative idea. This brother was brilliant. Bakari. I know I'm gonna say his name wrong, so I apologize. How do you say it again, Brandon? Bakar. Brother Bakar gave solutions. He gave solutions. Look, when I saw Mexican soul food in LA off of Vernon and Crenshaw, I knew we had a problem. And when I went to New York, DC, and I saw Chinese soul food.
Whoa, hold on.
Chinese soul food restaurants.
Hold on. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the one down the street from, is Vernon and Crenshaw right by the Beverly Center?
No, it's the one by the park, by the Leimert Park area.
Yeah, by the Beverly Center. By the Beverly Center.
Talk about the one right by Chase Bank.
Right by the bank. Yeah, listen, that used to be black owned, and the Mexicans were the cooks, and they took that was one of my customers when I worked for Centos. Right next door. Doolin's is right down the street.
Yep. And Dinus, they opened another one up right off of Gage and Figueroa, the Holstro. They got another one called The Family Soul Food, and black folks is lined up around the damn corner to eat up in there.
You know, here in Atlanta. I'm sorry.
And the interesting part is that you have these cultural people who are able to cultivate and take advantage of what we eat and how we live, and we go towards them. Like Brandon is saying, if you want to truly be black first, then you're going to avoid those people. I'm not giving my money to them. I'll go to Doolin's and I'll help those people out. I'm going to help my own people out, even if I got to drive an extra 5 or 10 minutes. And I think we need to be conscious that there are people who have invaded in our space. But keep in mind, since Lyndon B. Johnson and including the Republicans have opened up these doors and allowed these people to come in, these immigrants and illegals, they are able to come and they have banks and they are able to build on those banks and get loans from each other. We don't even have that anymore. We don't have that latitude. So
we can get loans
from different platforms.
We get loans every day to go to the car dealership. We get loans black folks get loans in America every single day. We are not being taken advantage of.
Where are we getting loans, boy? Where?
Dynast, what you need to go finance a car?
I'm not
Shoot,
talking about
listen. If
stuff.
you
They'll
no,
give
hold
you
on,
stuff.
Shirley,
Look, if you're a
listen,
commodity,
Shirley. No,
they'll
no,
give you.
Shirley, listen, Shirley. Not to cut you off. Here in Atlanta, when I'm listening to the radio and they play these car finance commercials, if you have a heartbeat and a job, they will get you a car, no matter what your credit is.
Dynast. Commodity and asset. Hold on. Commodity and assets. This country is rigged for black people. If you want assets as far as things that put you in debt and doesn't further you in life, it is easier to acquire a loan or debt. I get it. When you're trying to start a business and get a business loan, when you're looking at trying to go to a black bank to give you money like the Chinese go to each other, and you're trying to get help, that is another different process. And you know
No,
that
you're
as a
right.
realtor.
Dynast, let me
And you're a
call
realtor, am I right? No.
let
Dynast,
me
answer
call
my
BS
question.
on
I
that.
want everybody to
Let her finish. Let her finish. Here
Wait,
you go. Let her finish.
no, let me
Dynast,
Dynast.
No,
Dynast,
let her finish, Brandon. Let her
Man,
finish.
y'all
It's
don't
okay,
be
Brandon.
real with the info.
Go ahead, Brandon. Go ahead.
Am I telling the truth? Is there a different type of loan than getting a car loan from trying to get a home loan and a business loan?
It is different, yes.
Dynast, what's a PPP loan? How many millions did black people just steal from EDD? See, we're not looking at the whole picture. I got 2 PPP loans, 40,000. Don't tell me we can't do it. We don't want to do it.
Nobody said nobody can't do it. That's
We
not
don't
what they're saying.
want to, Dynast.
No, I think
we
it's out of
got
context. We're talking
money.
about more
With
like
it.
we're talking about more like bank and institutional loans.
Dynast, money is money. Banks gave you that PPP loan. That's a bank. We got the money. We stole $90,000 a person damn near from EDD. And what did we do with the money, Dynast? We love playing this victim role. Look, if we could do this, if the government treated us fair and gave us access to loans, we would do this and do that. No, you won't, because when you get the money in your hand, right? You know what you do? You go throw it away on designer and cars and all that. Look, we gonna have to be honest about who we are if we gonna make a change. Every black person in America touched some money this year, right or wrong, Dynast?
You right?
What did they do with it?
Absolutely.
I got friends who pulled 90,000, and you know what they went and bought? 8 Rolex chains, freaking 2 cars. I got a homie who hit a lick for 250,000. You know what he went and bought? 3 Camaros.
What's the solution?
The
I mean, you
solution
bring all
is
these. We already know niggas got. You got niggas and you got Negroes. I'm a Negro. I ain't a nigga, so I can't relate to the nigga news.
Every Negro.
We all don't know. We all got some cousins and some babies and JoJos. Okay, we all know JoJo. We all know JoJo, Brandon.
I'm gonna give you the real.
Question. Give me a solution with some Negroes, not the niggas.
Listen, let me give you the real. Every black person with a pulse could have got a PPP loan in excess of $20,000.
Every black person doesn't know that. And every black people don't have the capacity to think like that.
It's always this excuse. Oh, what did they do? They were listen. Listen, the SBA did a great job of publicizing those PPP loans, right or wrong, Dynast?
You're right.
That's all you was hearing billboards on the radio. If you didn't know, your mind was under a rock. If you even drove Uber or worked Uber Eats or did DoorDash, you qualified to get a PPP loan.
Okay, so Brandon, I'm going to play devil's advocate. I didn't know none of that.
Right.
Now, that's a lie.
You still got.
I'm going to play devil's advocate. I didn't know none of that. That's a lie. Okay, so now that I didn't know, I'm on this show. It's 2021, October. What do I do? Tell me what should I do. Give me a solution since I didn't jump on the P. Don't beat me up because I didn't go on the PPP train. I wouldn't have to. So I had to go to the bathroom and I missed that track. So what should I do? Tell me.
So what you need to do now is you need to start conditioning yourself. It's like if I got a fight coming up, I got to go start jogging, hitting the gym, all that stuff, right? I got to start conditioning myself. How do you condition yourself? You start practicing good spending habits now. Hey, dude, I spend this much money a month. Let me see if I can get by the month spending $200 less, right? You practice, you condition yourself. So next time the opportunity comes, in America, you get one good opportunity a year to bring in a lump, right? so that you condition yourself. So the next time the good opportunity to get some money come through, when you get your money, you won't throw it away. Also, you stay tapped in to information. Instead of jumping up, getting on Facebook, which PPP loans were also advertised on Facebook. I know all black people on Instagram and Facebook, they was like, man, they wanted to give you that damn money, right? You stay tapped in. You find yourself a reliable news source. Also, you start talking to like-minded people. Maybe an hour on the phone less with Bonquisha and a little bit more time on the phone with, well, you know what, not with Shirley, somebody else. But you talk to them about whatever, right? About, hey, what ideas do you have? What you up to? Another thing is this: there's a labor shortage right now in America. There's a lot of jobs hiring. You can make $16 to $17 an hour. My sister's doing it right now. She got a job paying $17 an hour, Dinus, sitting in a parking lot in her car overnight, not doing a damn thing, but sitting on the phone watching movies. Those jobs are everywhere in America right now. Do you realize 8 hours, $17 an hour? And a lot of security companies, you could talk to them about getting paid under the table. They'll do it. They'll do it. So they don't got to offer you no medical or nothing. There are a lot of opportunities for Black Americans, right? There's a lot of opportunities for Black Americans right now as we speak. Dinus, in Atlanta, are there help wanted signs on all the businesses right now?
Absolutely.
It's the same thing here, and I'm sure it's the same thing in every other city in America.
Yes,
That's an
I see it.
opportunity. That's an opportunity. Go work at the dog grooming place. Learn the business. 6 months, start your own dog grooming place. All you got to know how to do is wash dogs. And we don't take no long-haired dogs because we don't trim. All we do is wash. You know how much money you're going to make off of that? And all you need is a sink. Lowest overhead of any business. Then later on, you find a groomer, bring them in and say, hey, I'll give you this much to groom dogs. I'll give you this cut off of every haircut, right? There's too many opportunities because the reason I see it is because the white folks is opening it up. Every day in my city, a dude opened a place. This dude opened a place downtown Long Beach. This guy opened an escape room. Why can't we do that? He's booming right now. There's another guy, Marco's Treats, a Mexican. He's selling ice cream with the bicycle, but it's totally redone, Dinus. It's like super classy. He rolls around with a little blue shirt with the bow tie and a little stupid hat, but he's just packaged something that is a traditional business. The guy told me he's pulling in like $40,000 to $50,000 a year off of that, only working on the weekends because it's his side hustle. There's too much opportunity out here for us to still be talking about reparations and the immigrants getting this and their set-asides. Bro, there's all types of money in America. And you know how you know? All these other immigrants are getting the money while we sitting up complaining, asking for somebody to give us something.
Cool. Hey, guys, what we'll do one more round, and then we'll go ahead and close out. We'll start with Brother Bakari, then we'll go to Ben, then Shirley, then Brandon, you can close out. Go ahead, Brother Bakari.
All right. Hey, Amir, you say you in the Atlanta area. You ever heard of Blaxican?
Blaxican?
No, okay. I haven't heard of Blaxican, but in Noonan, they got this restaurant called Red Mexican. It's like a redneck Mexican restaurant. They got that in Noonan.
I never heard of them, but they got Blaxican is the black-owned Mexican spot.
Where at? Where is it?
It wasn't it's a food truck now. When the pandemic hit, they closed it. But you know, the truck be in front of it's in front of Green Brown Mall a lot on Sunday. The line is extremely long. You know, they say the number one thing. Mexicans were telling me about it. It's black owned. You know, that's how we get to go get the collard green quesadillas. The collard green chicken quesadillas. Yeah, it's a black dude. It's called Blaxican. But you know what? There's a lot of things that we can do. I understand what Brandon is saying. And I'm going to tell you something. For me, I guess I like Brandon because the way he put it out there, shit, that's how I do it sometimes, and I can take it. The harsh reality is sometimes we want other people to do things for us that we can do for ourselves. Not saying, you know, whether reparations or not, but right now we're not getting it. So when you say like-minded people, right? Let some people come together, put 1,000, 5 people, 10, put $1,000 together. What do we want to do? What type of business can we start, since we say we need money and we need jobs, right? Some people can still work while another person or two people is running a business. The other people can still have a job, and y'all stay and you do the paperwork together. But that's how it's gonna have to be done for us. We're gonna have to go back and start doing things. We're gonna have to start doing things. I guess we can say the old school way. It would be the old school way for us. But in all honesty, when you look and see, that's how everybody do it. I had this job. I was at this asphalt company, and I knew the owner. I'm sitting there, I'm listening to him talk on the phone. I literally heard him turn down it was like a $500,000 job, right? But told the people, I got somebody to do it. And since they had trusted him, he picked up the phone, called his one redneck friend to do part of it. He called the other redneck friend, and they gave him a small percentage for setting them up. But those are the things that that's what we are supposed to be doing. We're not supposed to be wanting to shine on one another, right? We're supposed to want to lift one another up. I met a brother today. I never seen him. I said, man, let me get your number. I might have to pick your brain about this business you in trucking. I'm into dump trucking. That's what I'm working toward, dump trucking. He was like, all right, give my number. You can call me, whatever, and we can talk. And I need some information because he was asking me about dump truck. And he was like, I'll call you and ask you about dump trucks, and maybe we can do some things together. I had never seen that brother before in my life. I just saw him with a headset on, looking at a truck, and started a conversation. And we traded numbers, and we have texted each other twice since then to make sure we got one another number. And that's what we're talking about doing. He doing the rigs. I want to be into the dump truck, and he want to do what Hustle Smart do. But man, look, Dynasty, I've been watching you for a minute now. I appreciate you letting me speak on your channel. And Shirley, this was my first time meeting you. It was nice to meet you. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Thanks again, Dynasty. Peace, brother. One love.
I appreciate you, brother. All right, Ben, go ahead, bro.
You know, like everyone else has been saying, I don't wait for anybody to help me. I have to do it myself. So basically, what I did with IT, I just built my own. Since there were other jobs that I couldn't find myself, I was trying to find until I got this job recently. So I started doing videos myself and saying, I'm going to do a current event show. I'm going to do a tech building program and talk about the things related to Black people in tech. Invented the movers and shakers in the communities. So I started doing it on Facebook Live. And the employer that was looking for, that wanted me to be hired for the job, they were watching my videos and then taking my resume, and that's why they gave me the job right there. Second of all, your vote doesn't count. They can care less about you voting. And I know Shirley, it's to break your heart on this, Shirley. It's not going to work. Voting changes nothing. Everybody has to know that. Self-sufficiency does. When Black people become self-sufficient, we start having our priorities straight, you will build a better community that anybody can do. And that means we have to let these other people go. These other bloggers, these other people, that ADOS, FBA, the Captain American Negroes, all these other militant integrations, all this Black Power Americans saying you're going to get reparations. You're never going to get reparations one day. I support reparation, but where we are now, no, 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 no. No, it's not going to happen. And I understand where Brandon's coming from. I might not agree with Brandon on everything he talks about, but I'm willing to work with him to see where we can come and align some of the issues that I agree with and what we don't agree with. So I hope I'll keep working with Brandon and we keep talking and I keep coming on the platform so we can have exchange of conversation and keep listening to others on what I can do better for myself and what I can do better for everybody else. And that's the reality. Thank you, Diane. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Shirley. That's all I have to say.
All right, brother. All right, Shirley, go ahead.
Thank you, Dinus. You always love being on your show. I think that what you offer the community is so unique and very historical, and we'll look back in time, and you will be in the archives of definitely game changers in this country.
Appreciate it.
Three things I want to say: the barter system, the trade system, and the family system. I think that many of you guys need to look into the barter system. That means you barter with somebody. If I do windows and you bake bread, I'll exchange from that. I think that, like Brandon has spoke about, how we need to know what other people and other businesses are doing, and we need to commune with those people and get ideas from each other. Beating each other, tearing each other down, talking about black women and bitches and black men and black women talking about black men. You have to watch your energy distribution. I will not lend my time as much as I would love to sit down and break those systems down. I do spend a little time over there, but not a lot because I can't. I believe that we're moving towards the edge of the worst U.S. economy in U.S. history. In saying that, I would encourage you to pay attention to Peter Schiff. He's an economist. Peter Schiff. I've known
I
him
know
for
Peter Schiff.
years, and I know his
I,
wife. They're good.
but Shirley, I say this: I disagree with Peter Schiff when it comes to his stance on Bitcoin and
Yeah,
crypto.
I understand that. The Bitcoin, and his son does too, by the way. So
Okay.
Peter's son doesn't agree with
That's
him
a
on
joke.
Bitcoin either. Ken McElroy talks about real estate and real estate investment. From if real estate is too big and too much, he breaks it down in small increments. And in all these people I recommend, we're all not going to agree on 100% that they're saying,
Right.
but they
Right.
do provide a foundation. Even though me and Brandon don't agree on everything, you get us on the fight, we're gonna be on each other's side. We're like, okay, I got
Right.
this one. Which one you got?
Exactly.
We ain't people to play with. And another person I want to mention who is African American, his name is Eric Coffey. Coffin, excuse me, Eric Coffin has talked a lot about governmental grants and proposals. Grants you don't have to pay back. It's not a loan. It's not the PP. It's not a loan. You also get governmental contracts. Again, you don't have to pay back. You just have to fulfill the contract, and that contract might be in the field that you want to be in. Last two things: put Christ first. I'm a Christian. I believe that you guys need to quiet your mind and your spirit so that you can hear God. We all need to hear God during these times. I have two statements that I always say to myself. I have to think about my family first, and I can't wrap my brain around that. So when people start telling you their stories and what you need to do and how you need to do it, I would say to them, let me think about it. And then I get to the point I go, I can't wrap my brain around that. You are not supposed to have the answers to this world's problem. You are not supposed to have the answers to everybody's problems. You can give good ideas, but come back and reassess your own life, your own ideology. Take care of your health, your mind, and your heart and your family. God bless you. Make sure that you guys go to Cal Texas Homes and also support Dynas and get those thumbs ups and those likes up and those patrons to support the search for Yuri. This brother's putting himself out there. He's taking people to Africa, the motherland. Nobody's doing it as well as he is. Him and Phil from the Advice Show, shout out to the Afro Synergy News as well. I mean, there's some great brothers that we need to support, real black men that love real black women. And that's why I love them and I thank God for them. Thank you for having me on your show.
I appreciate it, Miss Huzar. Go ahead, Brandon. You got to mute
Okay,
yourself.
you guys listen. You remember that Tupac song that says we got to change the way we eat, got to change the way we live, and got to change the way we treat each other, right? Because the old way wasn't working, so we got to find a new way, right? The old way doesn't work. The old car is broke down. The days when you could just say, you know what, we screwed up everything. Let's go ask the white man to bail us out with a big fat lump sum of money to fix all of our problems. Those days are over. There was a time in the 1990s when you can get a welfare check for every last one of your kids. You got 5 kids, you get 5 checks. You got 10 kids, you get 10 checks. And you get $1,000 worth of food stamps for each one of them. Eventually, white folks phased that out because they were like, look, this is not sustainable. We've given them enough on there. Now you have the current system where you just give money for the first kid, you get no money for all the rest, and you get some food stamps, right? All systems eventually are phased out. What you're experiencing right now is what's called the end of an era. There was an era in America where white people felt so guilty that whenever you came to them to ask for something, you was like the neighbor who always asking to borrow a cup of sugar. Or you was like that family member who always hit you up for $40 every month for a light bill or his light bill, whatever. Eventually, you're going to cut the umbilical cord. That's where you are. Immigrants, the money they get is not even 2% of what black people are getting from the American economy every year. It's just not. $2,300 for an Afghan immigrant, the government gave you 10 times that last year during COVID, right? So clearly, your lack of $2,300 is not your biggest problem. My brother's in the comments, Afro Think Tank, he said, we need financial education. First thing we need is regular education. And we need financial discipline because we can know about how to spend the money and what to do with the money. But that doesn't mean we're going to be disciplined to do what we know we should do. We need discipline. Start teaching yourself how to save your money. I was a person who never saved money because that's the way I grew up. If we had it, we spent it and waited for some more to come, right? My wife, thank God, was the person who taught me how to be disciplined with my money. So then I could save and look at my bank account and have $20,000 and $30,000 in the bank. Whereas before that, I would be making good money, but my bank account would be sitting on $50 and $100. And I thought I had money. What you mean I bought all that and I got $100 left? I was excited. My wife taught me. We all have to get that discipline. If you don't know what to do, I'll give you a prime example. Right now in your city, Uber Eats, Postmates, DoorDash, they're delivering food all around your city. You live in an apartment building. Why don't you start a candy house? Back in the day, right, Dinus? Uber should not be delivering chips, sodas, and candy bars to your building because everyone in your building should know all I gotta do is go downstairs for the late night treat. And oh, girl, you could be charging $2-3 for a can of soda, right? But guess what? Uber Eats charge you $20 to deliver you a combo meal. So you pay for the combo, then you pay $20 on top of that, right or wrong, Dinus?
Right.
And people is buying, your neighbors are paying that, which means they have disposable income. Look at people like customers. More so, don't look at them like customers. When you approach somebody, don't look at people like, what can this person do for me? Look at look at people like, what can I do for you? Is there any way I can help you? That's the mindset of a person who makes money. Make yourself available to people to help them get what they want. If you take that mindset, you will be making money and you will never have to move out of the state you love to go live in Texas because you can't afford to pay the rent. Thank you for having me, Dinus.
No problem. Everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family, Dynasty, search for Huru. Peace.
Mhm.